QMD tonight, we hope you didn't get the flu for Christmas, but according to the Center for Disease Control, cases are multiplying across the country, including right here in the inland Northwest. There are even confirmed cases of H1N1. You may remember it as the swine flu. 5 people in Texas have already died from that particular strain, and more are infected every single day. KHQ local news reporter Gabe Cohen joins us in the newsroom tonight. And Gabe, what about cases in the Spokane area? Is there anything that the health department wants us to know about?
Well, Alex, as you mentioned, there have been a lot of cases around the country, but this region has been no exception. The Northwest has definitely been hit very hard. To give you a sense of how hard, 3 people in the state of Washington have already died from the flu this year. None, however, in Spokane County. But I would say the biggest thing to remember is that the flu season is really just beginning. And let me show you what I mean by that. This is a graph of flu hospitalizations from last winter. And you'll notice there's a big spike in January and in February, which are typically the worst months of flu season. But what's a little bit alarming is that, look at December. Last December, there were about 9 hospitalizations by this time last year. Now, this year, we're up around here. We're talking about 27 hospitalizations, which 3 times as much. There may be reason for concern, and it's hard to predict exactly how the season will go. In January and February, sometimes we're upwards of 50 or 60 hospitalizations, but again, there's reason to look at the numbers. I spoke today with someone from the Spokane Department of Health who told me that they're not sure if these numbers indicate maybe a quicker start to the season or a more severe season.
There's no way to really tell because we've just got 2 or 3 weeks of activity and data to look at, and it's hard to kind of trend that out and see what exactly is going to happen over 3 or 4 months.
Now, I'm over here at the board. Excuse the poor handwriting, but this is what he recommended you do to make sure you do not get the flu. Number 1 is obviously get a flu shot. That is the simplest thing. And you might be thinking to yourself, flu season's begun. What do we do in this situation? I've lost my chance. Well, that might not be the case.
We have, probably another, 8 to 12 weeks of flu activity, and all it takes is about 2 weeks after you get your flu shot, and you have a good immune response at that time.
And the other 2 obvious ones, stay at home if you're sick. Keep your kids at home. You don't want to be getting other people sick, and you don't want to be making things worse for yourself. And, of course, respiratory etiquette, just the old ones. Sneeze into your arm or into your shoulder. Just avoid spreading germs. Reporting live in the newsroom tonight, Gabe Cohen, KHQ Local News.
Gabe, thank you. In-depth coverage tonight. And a question that many people have, is it too late to get a flu shot? The answer is no. Doctors say it's really never too late. And if you have health insurance, most of the time it's free. But even if you do get it, that doesn't necessarily mean you won't still get sick. And no one, not even doctors, are totally immune.
I did have the vaccine. I had the quadrivalent vaccine, so I was a little disappointed. But that doesn't mean not to go get your shot. It still can cover and make it a little less severe if you have your vaccine.
The official advice from the Centers for Disease Control is if you're 6 months or older, you should get vaccinated. Even if you end up getting the flu, if you've been vaccinated, your recovery time will most likely be shorter. Because so many people in the inland Northwest are sick right now, we thought we'd check in with you on Facebook to find out if there are any home remedies that you rely on to make things better. And we got some pretty interesting responses. Our Facebook friend Gladys wrote that a teaspoon of raw honey and cinnamon at the first sign of a cold works wonders. Rachel says to put Vicks Vapo Rub on the bottom of your feet. We actually had several people recommend that. But our favorite was Roland suggesting. He said rum and coke is the sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching head I want to pass out cold and flu medicine. And quote, Roland, there you have it. If you want to share your remedy with us, just head to our Facebook page, search KHQ, or tweet us at KHQ Local News.